And welcome everybody, Prophecy in the Spotlight. This is update number 93, I believe. 94. Okay, 94. Doc, good to see you back with us again. Yep. And we've got a story here that we're going to read. The next two shows for TV and YouTube, which will be 94 and 95, as well as some of our radio programs, we're going to talk about the end time church.
The Laodicean world and the Laodicean church.
I had something on my mind. You had something on your mind. Yep. Come to find out, it's the same topic.
From different directions.
Hitting the same things from different directions. It's going to be great. So that's going to be the next two television shows, now 94 and 95 for CTN, as well as here on YouTube. So I know a lot of you watch us here on YouTube, and some of you watch us on TV. So everybody watching here obviously is watching on YouTube because this is not television. Right. So I'm excited about that. We're going to record them in just a few minutes as soon as we get this done. But you brought us a story here that that we're going to share with the audience.
Yeah, I thought, as I was looking at the news, of course my mind's thinking of Russia, Ukraine, and Ezekiel 38 and all that, and this popped out. I thought this might be a connection.
Okay, this is dated April 18th, 2022. So just several days ago or a week or whatever. Angry Putin demands control of Jerusalem church. Let me just read a couple lines and I'll throw it over to you because you've got some information on this that I don't have. Angered by Israel's latest reactions to the Ukraine war, Putin is calling in a debt he forced years ago on Netanyahu. That's the headline underneath the picture here. Let me have this camera real quick, and I'll let them see the picture here. There you go. They can see the picture of Benjamin Netanyahu and Putin. So that's an old picture because this would have been Benny if it was a current picture. But evidently this deal was made
But he wrote the letter to Benny Gantz. So.
Right, but this picture, the deal was made with Netanyahu.
Yes.
All right. Russian President Putin reportedly sent an angry letter to the Israeli Prime Minister, Mr. Bennett, on Sunday, which would have been the, what's the date
13th,
today?
13th, I think that would have been.
Okay, 13th, something like that. I got to see
14th, wasn't it?
Sunday. The date right now is the 18th. It would have been the 17th, I think.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Would have been the 17th.
And traveling like I've done, I've lost track of what time it is.
Oh, yeah, I know. He sent this angry letter to Prime Minister Bennett on Sunday, which I guess was the day before this came out, demanding he hand over control of a church in the old city of Jerusalem. And I've been to the old city. I'm not sure that if I've been in this church or not.
I've been in all of them, yeah.
All right. And to Alexander Nevsky Church, the Alexander Nevsky Church, that's the church he's talking about, which I guess is a Greek Orthodox church.
Russian Orthodox church.
Okay, Russian Orthodox, yep. Also known as the Cathedral of the Holy Trinity, is a Russian Orthodox church, but not one presently under the Kremlin's control. So, do you want me to read any more of this, or do you want to go with that?
There's two organizations that supposedly claimed rights to that. One of them's tied straight to the Kremlin. And evidently, from the article, remember just a few years ago, one of the Israelis was arrested in Russia, supposedly had too much cannabis or something with her. And Netanyahu went and negotiated for her release. And in that negotiation for release was Netanyahu saying that we'll let you we'll declare that this society, which is the Russian owners, you have control over that church. And so that's never been done, so now he's calling his cards in.
Yeah.
He's mad because they sided with Ukraine rather than with him.
So are we sure that he has, or is he kind of just staying on the fence here?
No, it appears that Israel, Le Pen Lipid, whatever his name is. Anyway, Prime Minister was in, I believe, Italy, and he made the statements how wrong it was to invade a smaller country, and war crimes ought to be brought against them for killing civilians. And I'm not taking anybody's side here, I'm just saying. But as a result of Israel making those statements, it made Putin mad, and he said, I'm demanding that. So what caught my attention was, there's going to be some hooks, or at least a major hook that's going to draw Russia down against Israel for Ezekiel 38. And I had no idea. I've been in those buildings, and I had no idea that there was such an arrangement as that.
So what does Russia want with that? When they made that deal, what was the big deal?
Oh, I don't know, other than, hey, they think they're quote-unquote Christian. And now the Roman Catholics have control of many of the historical sites there. The Greek Orthodox, they have control over them, and so Jerusalem's an international connected city. And of course, it's the Wappets from over in Jordan that control what goes on the Temple Mount. So it's really a convoluted, mixed up thing.
It is.
But I had no idea. But when it caught my attention that here again is animosity being built toward Israel from Russia, and that's why I thought it was an interesting situation.
And you and I both have the same feeling here that Russia is being drawn out. Everyone's turning on them as far as NATO and America, the media, George Soros, all these people.
Oh, yeah.
And they're trying to hurt their financial system, but actually these helped them.
Yep. Well, I read another article. I didn't print it off, but one of the major leaders of the Czech military or parliament, whatever their organization is in Czechoslovakia, but this Czech leader says that Putin is, he didn't call him insane, but he said he's got a major mental problem, and that might be, I don't know.
But that might be propaganda.
And again, who knows? You can't believe hardly what you read. How old is Putin?
Yeah. Anybody know how old he is? Somebody must.
I think he's older than me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, but if you put him and our guy in a room together, I think one of them stands out to have more of his marbles than the other.
Yeah.
And I'm not being mean. I'm just being honest.
But Putin has been. It's obvious that he's been pushed to where he is, and they're going to continue to push. And his actions, as of even the last 2 days, there in Mariupol, I mean, the civilians' casualties for no reason whatsoever. There's not it's sad.
Yeah. Well, okay. Doc, we had a fella and his wife in the studio.
Yeah, Brother Chris and
just
Sister
a few days
Tiffany.
ago. And we spent about, I know you were here just briefly because you had just gotten in and you had family things going on. My wife especially, my wife and I, we tore this whole place apart. Every wire was unplugged, laying all over the floor. I should have took some before and after pictures, but I was crying too much. I'm thinking, I even joked with Chris. I said, I remember I had an engine rebuilt one time for a car up in Pennsylvania, and I remember walking in that shop, the motor was out, there was stuff all over the floor, and I looked at my friend. It was Joel Widman in Pennsylvania, in Woodbury. And I remember looking at him and saying, Brother Joel, we'll never get this back together. And he laughed at me because he was a mechanic. He knew what he was doing. But it was overwhelming to me. Just like, oh my goodness, I don't look that now. There were, if folks could have saw the wires hanging under that desk where my wife's sitting.
Everywhere, yeah.
Wires everywhere. And the first thing he said when he came in here was, do you mind if I unplug everything and start over? And I said, well, I'm going to lock that door and you ain't leaving until we're back in business. And we were about 8 hours, Doc. And this is actually our first session with the new system. And my wife has already had to call them and get some help.
Much better system.
Oh, we got
once she gets it mastered, then she will. It's going to be great.
Yeah. So we come in here today, and she was a little confused about putting pictures in. Yeah. And but she called them and got it all straightened out. It's just simple little things that you got to remember.
We appreciate.
So what I did some clips with Chris. I didn't get his wife in. I wanted to, but I asked Miss Tiffany, would you like to be in it? She said, no, that's okay. And maybe we'll get her another time. But she's much nicer looking than Chris. So, but we had Chris, and I sat him right there, and had his T-shirt on with his business. He has a business that he does does commercials and things for people.
Well, some of the videos that I have that people have purchased are the ones that they recorded and edited for me.
So some of your videos were done by him.
Yes.
And so what I wanted to do, he came here, he did this as a ministry.
Absolutely.
Did this for free.
We
fed him, but I don't think we fed him good enough. But they were here a long time. This was the evening before Easter, Sunday.
Yeah. They probably didn't get home till midnight.
It was midnight when they got home. It was a 3-hour drive for them, and they lost an hour going back to the Eastern time zone. But boy, they sure helped us. And I wanted to do something for them. He didn't ask me to do this, but I let him know before he got here. I said, look, I'd like to put you on the camera if you don't mind. He said, okay. And so we did, I don't know, it's maybe 5 minutes or something. I sat him in your chair, and we talked about his business, because I want you out there on YouTube. Maybe you need some help. Maybe you'd like to call him or go to his website. So we're going to let him explain it, and we're going to put a clip up for you right now and let you see it. And I hope if you need some help, I hope that you'd give him some business. These are good people. These are Christian people, godly people.
Good folks.
And they can help you. They know their stuff. They know cameras. They know studios. They know is it OSB, Mrs. Goodwin? Is that what we're using? OBS. I always say it back. OSB is wood.
Yeah.
OBS. The OBS program. Especially his wife, she's sharp. She set that whole thing up, and sat there and helped my wife understand it. I learned a little bit, but I'm slow. It takes me a long time to learn.
We know that.
Yeah.
No,
I left myself wide open for that one. So that's one for Doc, and I'll get him in the next one. But well, folks, we want you to see a clip. We're going to close out the video with this clip with Chris. And if you have anything to do with videoing and you need some help, or you'd like him to help you make a commercial or something, I want you to contact them. Give them some business if you can. And they're out of just down below Louisville, Kentucky, Shepherdsville area. But there's some things they can do without going on site. So
a lot of things they could do.
Yeah. So okay. Well, let's go to that right now. And welcome everybody, Crossing the Spotlight here. I'm Brother Goodwin, and sitting with me is a new friend of ours, Chris Druin, right? Druin.
Yeah, like
Druin.
you drew inside something.
It's a hard name. It's Drouin.
Yeah, it's those crazy French people.
It's French. I'm 3/4 French.
I am something French.
All right, so Chris is here. His wife is back there. I tried to get her on the camera, but she's hiding back there with my wife behind the cameras. And her name is Tiffany, right?
Yes.
You guys have been here for how many hours now? 6 or 7 hours.
I would say almost 8 hours.
Ooh. And you guys, tell them a little bit about you. You're from Shepherdsville area, Kentucky.
Well, yeah. So we have we live in Mount Washington, Kentucky, which is right next to Shepherdsville.
Okay.
It's in the same county. And we have been living there since last year, about a year and a couple weeks now.
And you're in Pastor Jordan's church.
We are in Pastor David Jordan's church.
And what's the name of that church again?
That is Lighthouse Baptist Church in Shepherdsville.
I've preached there before, but I can't remember the name of the church.
It was before we joined there, so we didn't get to see you there.
And Dr. Hilt preaches there a lot.
He does preach there. He has been there a few times, and we've done some recordings. Each time he's come, we've recorded with our cameras. This last time he came, we recorded it, but we haven't gotten it up yet.
We brought you in because you're one of these techie kind of guys.
Sometimes.
And we're always telling on TV, we don't know what we're doing, and we don't. And you and your wife have spent 7 or 8 hours here today helping us. And boy, you've been a great help. We now have some new equipment, and you've helped us understand, and we're actually using that new stuff now.
Yes.
And
we got to streamline a bunch of things, so we took out some equipment we didn't need anymore because it was just kind of duplicating more and more.
Yeah.
And now we can actually record everything straight onto the computer. What were you using before?
We were going to some kind of a capture card and then a USB flash drive. And I don't know how many times we've lost everything. Just pulling the thing out and putting it in the computer, nothing. Or the audio wasn't there, and frustrating. So we're hoping that this is going to make life simpler and better for what we're doing. And I wanted the folks to know who you were, you and your wife, and that you had come in and helped us with this. So I thought it'd be good if we shared a little bit about the new venture that you're into. You're quitting. You're finishing a job that you have to go full time with this video thing.
Yes. So I have had a video production company for this iteration. Just started last year. But I've had a video production company, I can't talk, since 2017, and it's been kind of like, it does kind of well, and then it kind of fizzles out and dies. So it's been kind of a side hustle for a little while. And this last time, I had been working a full-time job, and now I've gotten to the point to where this can it doesn't have to just be a side hustle. Now I can have an actual full-time job with it.
Okay, and it's called, is this the name of your company?
Yeah, just Chris Druin Video. It's on my shirt.
Okay, so that's the name of the company. If they Googled that, they would find you.
Yes.
But you actually have a website here, and it's basically your name, chrisdruinvideo.com, right?
Yes.
So if they go there, they can find you. Now, what can you do for somebody in my audience? What could you do for them?
So what we do is, it's a lot with businesses, helping businesses to stay alive and grow in this, video age. You'll have different types of branding, like different types of commercials. I usually don't recommend going commercials on TV because most people, they're just recording and fast forward it anyway. Put it online, and also online they can be longer and not for as much money.
That's right.
So that's always nice.
So you can help somebody that has a business. You can help. You produce videos for them.
Yes.
Okay.
And I do that with we have 2 cameras, 2 normal cameras, and then we have like a little GoPro. We can use our phones if we really needed to for some reason.
Yeah.
I also have a drone pilot license, so we'll get up and fly. And I do a lot of work with a construction company, just flying around roofs, like before, during, after kind of idea and whatnot. And so I put that into a lot of the videos, whether it's a branding type video or just like a 30-second commercial or whatever.
All right, so you do commercials and things for companies. Do you do other things like weddings and things like that, or
not so much on the weddings, because I don't really like doing weddings.
Yeah,
we're good at it. I just don't really enjoy
it. So your main focus is on producing little clips to help businesses get out there and get found and get customers and things like that.
People actually go, hey, I like this business. Give them more of a personal connection with them rather than.
And I got to see one of them in the office. You were showing us a little clip that you made, and it was first class. It was very professional.
Well, thank you.
And so, folks, if there's anybody watching us, and if you have a business, or if maybe you have relatives or friends that have a business that maybe could use his expertise to produce a commercial, a couple minutes, a minute, talking little things.
Anywhere from 8 seconds all the way up to a few minutes.
Whatever they want.
We can go longer if we really needed to, but you're going to lose everybody's attention.
Yeah.
And then I'm also starting. on my YouTube channel, I'm starting with teaching people how to do video. Now, as of the time of this recording, if you go onto there, you're not going to see anything about teaching people.
Because they're all private right now.
Because everything is just private. It's kind of my portfolio of the
Yeah.
professional work. But coming up very shortly, you're going to start seeing how do you do video? How do I do it with my phone?
So the last thing, and this is important. Let's say somebody's in Little Rock, Arkansas, or Sacramento, California. Is there something you can do for people long range like that?
Well, they could always, pay for travel to get out there.
Okay.
But I can do editing work. So if they happen to record the stuff and it's not,
You'll put the music to it, and you'll put
I
it
can
together.
get everything together.
It's better if you can be there on site and video them at their
Because
desk.
yeah, I have been doing this, and I have the idea of what everything in my mind normally would look like. But of course, you always go with the flow whenever
Yeah.
things change.
All right, and you go to the Baptist Church, Lighthouse Baptist. You and your wife are members there, and you're involved in the video work at the church there.
Yeah, so we're archiving some of our sermons and stuff, and we also make it so that the nursery workers can watch it at the same time. And then we have the Lighthouse Baptist, the Bible Institute, where we're actually doing classes and stuff, and we're recording those, putting it together so that we have for the church, the institute at the church, we have a bunch of courses so that we can start, teaching people, training them up.
Okay. All right. Well, we want to thank you and your Miss Tiffany back there for the hard work, and I mean we've been on our hands and knees here pulling wires, and I mean I watched your wife back there just working on that program up there.
Oh yeah.
And we sure appreciate all that you've done for us here, and I wanted our audience to know what you guys had done for us and how thankful we are.
Well, it's our pleasure.
Yeah, and can we call you again tomorrow?
Well, I'll be at church tomorrow.
Yeah.
Because today's Saturday, so
Yeah.
you could call me if I'm not going to come up.
All right. Well, we got your car impounded out here. You guys ain't leaving, so.
Well.
All right. No, but thanks so much for coming. And folks, let me give that again. ChrisDruinVideo.com. Chris Druin. That's DROUIN video.com.
And then YouTube will be youtube.com/Chris Druin Video.
But
So
but
that's
you'll
easy.
have a link to that on your website.
Yeah, that'll be on the
That's
website,
the simplest
so you
thing.
can
Go
go on
find
there.
his website.
So anything you need will be at the website.
All right. Well, appreciate it very much. And folks, thanks for watching. And Doc, that was it.
Yep.
And it was great. They're good people.
They're good kids.
And I also
Kids to me, but
I also
wonderful
did a
couple.
3-minute clip with him that we're going to put on television because I want the television audience to have a chance to meet him.
Yeah. Well, they
And,
helped us greatly in our.
Yeah, and
they've
they're going to help
me
us some
many
more.
times, and
They're
yes.
going to do some more for us. We got more changes that we haven't told you about yet, but more changes we want to make here in the studio, and he's going to help us with some of that, I think. So
All we need is a few $100,000.
Yeah, we do. Yep. And we're paid up for the next couple months, but
Yep.
funds are getting low again.
We
and
appreciate those that have been
yeah.
faithful.
So those of you who love our show, and many of you support us and monthly, or some of you just every now and then you give a donation. We sure appreciate it. And don't stop. We put out some more money for some studio equipment here. So
Yes.
we bought a new switcher, we bought a computer, and we got more that we need to do. Okay, on that note, we'll let you go. So keep your eyes on them skies.